Hey, so this is a game called Tyranny. It's developed by Obsidian Entertainment, released in 2016, and it has pretty good rating in Steam. This was another game that was recommended to me because of its story and maybe interesting takes on morality. I'm looking at a Steam store page right now. Let's just read the description. I'm not sure if I should go down and read the features section of the page, but I feel like it'll be a good idea to have some context on the game. Okay, so the store page says, experience a story-driven RPG where your choices mean all the difference in the world. Okay, so our choices will have some impact. But if you go down, you can see this about this game section. So this is where I'm debating if I should read that or not, because it'd be really interesting to just go into it blind without knowing anything. So maybe we'll skip that part. This is a fairly well-reputed game, so I feel like we should be okay going in blind and figuring it out. Especially since it's a relatively modern game. It'll have tutorials and other things where they'll fill us in on how the game works, and the rest of the context of where this world is, where the story is set, and what the mechanics are. Maybe it'll be more interesting to discover it on our own instead of reading through the about section. So I think we'll start the game just with the. I think it's one of the shortest like about sections, not the main about section, like the. In the Steam page, that just says, experience a story-driven RPG where your choices mean all the difference in the world. So that's it. There's nothing else there. But if you go down, there's a larger about section in the bottom section of the Steam page. Maybe I'll show a screenshot of what it looks like so that people are aware. But I'm not reading that right now. I guess it's because it's from Obsidian, and this is probably after they've developed Pillars of Eternity. So they already are like a well-known developer, right? So they don't have to sell their game on anything more. But yeah, we'll start the game. Let's look at the options. I want to make it full screen, by the way. Let me quickly do that. Graphics, full screen, apply. Okay, cool. Maybe we can increase the. All right. I saw a lot of options earlier. See, just in like the sub menu for auto pause, which is interesting. Center camera on auto pause. Set all. Character hit, character attack. Okay. So it feels like this is not turn based but real time with pause. Just like in Planescape Torment. Not like in Fallout. Fallout is a game that I've been playing prior to this. And one thing that I'm excited about is just having a user experience that's much more smoother compared to the original Fallout, because that was a big hurdle for me. And it still is even after having finished the game. So that is something that I'm really looking forward to, and also having fairly good graphics, right? Those are like the biggest things that I'm looking forward to, honestly. But yeah, we'll see. We won't maybe later once we get into the combat we'll look at this stuff and see if any of it makes sense for us. Difficulty, death. Characters will die permanently when their health reaches 0. They are at the maximum and they are at the maximum number of wounds allowed. Wound maximum 10. Interesting. Area of effect highlight. Provide a graphical display of range of area effect spells and abilities. The music is maybe a little too loud. Let me reduce that a little bit. Alright. Show unqualified interactions. Display conversation options for which the party does not meet prerequisites. Show qualifiers. Display qualifiers that cause a conversation option to be unlocked. Combat tooltips. If this option is enabled, lightweight combat tooltips will be shown above all characters during combat. Auto level companions. Okay. Show relative defenses. Tutorials. Cool. Game. English. Show reputation. Display the effects of choosing conversation options on play character's reputation. So by default, they have it disabled. They want us to kind of guess instead of it explicitly being available. Music volume. Music volume is by default low, but it's still. The horns are blaring. Alright. Paradox account, exit, credit, options, new game. I guess we'll start with a new game. Maybe there's a character creation. It's probably a character creation, right? Alright, let's go. New game settings. Story mode difficulty. Story mode difficulty setting requires minimal micromanagement and easily forgives mistakes in combat. Enemies receive a penalty to most stats. Companion combat AA is enabled by default and party members do not receive wounds until they are knocked out. Normal difficulty requires strategy and efficiency but forgives a few mistakes in combat. Companion combat AI is enabled by default. Hard difficulty is suited for veteran players of isometric RPGs such as Pillars of Eternity. Okay, so this came out after Pillars of Eternity, and I guess Pillars of Eternity 2 came out after Tyranny, so they probably did Tyranny in between. I don't know if there's anything else that came. If these three are the 3 games they worked on in sequence, or if there was anything else in between. I've like barely touched Pillars of Eternity. It was so dense in its lore, and yeah, there was a lot of reading involved, and I wasn't too interested to do that at that time. It was a long time ago, but yeah, we'll see. Survival requires micromanagement and optimization of stats through items, spells, and abilities. Enemy AI is more efficient and use abilities more frequently. In Path of the Damned difficulty, enemies receive a bonus to most stats and have the most efficient AI and will very frequently use abilities. Party members take more wounds during combat and when being knocked out, difficulty level can only be chosen when starting a new game. Oh, we are stuck with the difficulty level. And wounds is capitalized everywhere, so this is probably a very serious or important mechanic in the game. Trial of Iron. Trial of Iron is enabled. If Trial of Iron is enabled, only one save slot is permitted. If your party is defeated, the game ends, your save is lost, and you must start again. Recommended only for those who seek a greater challenge. This can only be modified when starting a new game. Expert mode disables a number of helper features in the game. Players who want to rely on their own faculties and intuition while playing the game should play expert mode. This option is selected when you start a new game. It cannot be enabled in game, and if disabled, cannot be re-enabled in that game. Come on. At least for this option, this is so tempting to have, because it allows us to kind of intuit things on our own. That's a very, and the thing is, this is very restrictive to, like, we can't do it in a second playthrough, or it makes less sense in a second playthrough because you already know it, right? So I don't know if it makes sense to enable expert mode. It'll be so nice to experience it with this enable, to kind of try to figure things out on our own. Expert mode disables a number of helper features in the game. Rely on their own faculties and intuition while playing the game should play expert mode. None of this can be like turned off in a like after we start the game. So it's a commitment that we have to make right now. If they even worded it differently, like exploration, like a guided mode or something instead of expert mode, I wouldn't be so intimidated to pick it. It says expert mode, like expert at what? So we'll pick normal, and I really want to pick this, but I don't know. The thing is, it's just we can't replay it, right? It loses its value after the first playthrough. So yeah. At the same time, I don't want to make things too difficult for myself because I'm not like a veteran CRPG player to kind of know the ins and outs. So let's just skip it for now and move ahead. Alright, athletic skills can be used to intimidate characters in conversations. Okay.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spy master and archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Right. It seems we are playing as one of the, like, on the side of the tyrants. Interesting. We're not the people defending we're not one of the people defending the land. Huh. Oh, I guess there's like this cell shaded effect to the character faces as well as the model. See the feet. That makes it. Yeah, I guess that's a stylistic choice. You can see from the swords here too. Wow, there are lots of things to configure. Right, the description slightly changes, so let's read that. Role. In Northern Empire, where you were born, women enjoy equal protections under the laws of Overlord Kairos. In southern lands of the Tiers, women may crew a ship, but only men may own or captain a vessel. While these customs give the oceans to men, the lands are trusted to the women. Men may rent and lease, but only women may own land and bequeath it to their daughters and sisters. While following a parent's profession is standard, many women choose to pledge service to one of the Overlord's powerful Archons. Those without a viable trade or lands to call their own are often drafted into armies of the Archons, where it is assumed they will rise to glory or vanish into obscurity in accordance to their word. Role. In Northern Empire, where you were born, men enjoy equal protections under the law of the Overlord Kairos. Oh, interesting. If you hover over highlighted words, you can see further description. Okay, Kairos is a name out of legend. For centuries, the Overlord had consolidated power, sending vast armies to swallow entire realms. The most powerful mystic the world has ever seen, Kairos can issue edicts, magical proclamations that level cities, spread pokes, sunder the lands, or change the course of seasons. Right-click for details. The Archons, the masters of magic throughout the known world, bow to Kairos, and the Overlord readily destroys any Archon unwilling to kneel. These sorceresses and madmen lead the Overlord's armies in near endless conquest. As a realm of the known world falls to the Overlord, these captured territories are divvied up amongst the Archons to manage. Able to deliver suffering and woe to every corner of Terratus without leaving the capital, few have seen the Overlord in person. Though Kairos' name is the single most recognized name in the world, only the Archons can say what the Overlord looks like. For centuries, Overlord has consolidated power. Okay. I have like no context of what kind of world we exist in. Like, is it like a fantasy world, or is everyone, is it like a human world with no other races? Immediately we can only choose like human as a race. So it looks like, at least, I don't know, maybe it's part of the story that we can't choose any other race. And what's the nature of this guy, Kairos? He's apparently an overlord, and he seems all powerful. He's like conquering land after land, and for centuries apparently. Is he a god? He's an overlord, but we don't know what an overlord is. In southern lands of the Tears, only men may own or captain ships, but the real estate is restricted to women. Men may lease, but durable ownership of the land in the Tears always passes to the eldest daughters or sister. Most sons enter their father's profession by their mid-teens. Those without a profession or profession or family lands to work can find purpose by pledging service to one of the overlord's mighty archons. Criminals, derelicts, and others are often conscripted into the armies of the archons. If a child cannot forge his own skein, he will certainly find one in battle. What is skein? I don't know what skein means. Something to do with yarn, coiled yarn or something. That's what the dictionary says. Let's go with the normal male build for now. I don't know if the fact that we can't own land affects something in our playthrough, or the fact that we can own vessels and captain a ship. Next. Oh, so these are also points where we can edit things. This is for appearance. Portrait. There are a lot of portraits. Very interesting. Let me spend some time creating a character. Alright, we have our appearance set. So I picked a portrait and tried to make him look similar to the portrait. That's it. Next. History. How did he join Kairos' army? Okay, I need to read through this. Pit fighter. Not wishing to pay heed. Let me read through this. I don't want to read the whole thing in the playthrough. But the one I picked, maybe we'll read it out loud. Okay, I had taken a larger break and kind of went through the entire character creation screens, all of these screens, except for the Conquest mode. So I've selected the class, skills, history, everything else. So maybe we can just read the one that I've chosen, which is Lawbreaker. Accused of a crime you most certainly did commit, you stood before Tunon, the adjudicator, Archon of Justice, and argued your case with eloquence and conviction. Impressed by your logic, reason, and confidence, he found you guilty anyway. It is rumored that Tunon selects many of his agents from his prisoners. Who better to catch the wicked than those versed in such ways? In his mercy, Tunon offered you the choice of two sentences: decades languishing in prison, or a lifetime serving him in the court of Fatebinders. The choice was an easy one, and instead of seeing the inside of a cell, you were trained in letters and numbers, magic and war. The laws you once broke are now yours to interpret and enforce. Okay, so like I imagine that like all of these scenarios are quite interesting to read. Okay, and once I read through them, I kind of imagine maybe that we'll have a quest line or like something in the world that refers to this event, because things like Pit Fighter, it says that we were sold off when we were young because our house could not feed us, and then we were raised as a pit fighter. So there are interesting scenarios here, and feels like maybe if you in the world we might find remnants of this story somehow, but that may not be the case, because what I discovered is this reflects on the skills we have. So if you go to skills and if you go to subterfuge, it says +6 because of Lawbreaker. right? And these are the okay. We should go through the other screens quickly. I selected 2 primary skills. I was looking through them, and unarmed was the one that was it stood out to me more than anything else. I wanted to kind of play an unarmed character, but then immediately the game is saying that it's a challenging style. Unarmed fighting is one of the most challenging combat styles. Damage is generally lower, but this is offset by the speed of your attacks. A good style for someone interested in being challenged. I didn't realize this was going to be challenging, and I sat here trying to decide if we should pick it or not, but ultimately I thought we should. Okay, so our primary skill is unarmed. +6 unarmed combat, dodge, athletics, subterfuge. So our ability to dodge attacks, it can be 2 different types. It can either be parry, not 2, I guess it could be more, but for melee, for spells, I think your ability to dodge depends on... Oh, it's just dodge. Okay, cool. Versus magic. Yeah, let's quickly go through these screens. I went through them myself earlier, so I have a bit of an idea, but we'll quickly look at some of them. Yeah, so when you choose one of the skills, you can one of the primary expertise, you can choose one of the abilities for certain things. Like for sword and shield, there are 2. For dual wielding, there's 2. There's flurry of blows. Unleash a double attack on your targets. Okay. 9 to 11. 1x x1 primary weapon versus parry. So you can see parry is the defense that it works against. Parry skill defense against melee attacks and spells. Higher skill ranks will reduce damage from any attacks and may lead them to miss altogether. So if someone's using a dual wielding attack, it goes against the opponent's parry ability. But if it's a ranged attack, so if it's a ranged attack, say hobble, it goes against dodge. It's maybe it's a roll and it's rolled against dodge. I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but it is compared against the dodge skill of the enemy. The dodge skill defends against ranged attacks from bows, javelin, or magic spells. Higher skill ranks will reduce damage taken or cause enemies to miss altogether. Yeah. So if you look at one of the Frost skills, it is versus magic, but it doesn't say. We can't right click on it to read it further. So it is 8 to 12 Frost versus magic. So magic is some sort of defense. Not sure. Frozen. Movement speed reduced by 3. Animation speed reduced by 70. Affliction. Afflictions are explicitly bundled set of status effects that can be applied to, suspended, or fully removed from a character. While some afflictions have explicit overriding or exclusivity rules, most afflictions can coexist with other afflictions. When a spell is cast on a target, its spell is cast on a target. It and its subordinate effects and afflictions are all bundled together in a procedurally bundled container created by the spell. What the hell? If these procedurally bundled containers are applied while an identical version is in effect, the new version replaces the old. Bundled together in a procedurally bundled container. So it applies one thing first, another thing second. So if you use a frost spell, it can have multiple effects procedurally applied. And if it's the same thing we are applying again, it just refreshes the effect instead of, it just replaces the effect. No matter how many effects are on the target, generally only the best bonuses and the worst penalties are applied. Some enemies can be immune to one or more afflictions. If so, these afflictions cannot be applied to those enemies. Okay, cool. We'll learn more about this as we play, I guess. So, I've currently chosen Unarmed as my main ability. Okay, and we'll use Palm Strike. This will silence an opponent. Okay. Perform a powerful Palm Strike to target's chest, interrupting them, pushing them back, and silencing them from spell casting. Okay, so you can rush to a caster enemy, Palm Strike them to silence them, and I don't know, this is just theory crafting what we can do, but we'll see. So that's our primary skill. It's odd because nothing shows up here. Okay, if you click on Javelin, Javelin shows up here, and a shield shows up here. Javelin is interesting because it can be a melee as well as a ranged weapon. We can throw it as well as use it as a one-hand weapon, which is really cool. Atrophy is like debuffing enemies. Atrophy magic drains the skill and attributes of enemies, weakening the attacks and making them easier to kill. Okay. Vigor spell is kind of like a buff. Shock will interrupt our enemies, and Frost will kind of freeze them or reduce their movement speed and stuff. So we'll pick unarmed with palm strike, and for the next secondary expertise, so we can pick 2 expertises. This is apparently unarmed. I wish they would show up fist or something. It was very odd. I thought like I was not selecting anything, but apparently it's unarmed. Second one is we'll go with short bow. Okay, and we'll take hard shot. So delay your aim to focus on hitting the targets hard. Gain additional accuracy for this attack and leave the target bleeding. So either we can hard shot and then rush to them to do unarmed attacks, or maybe palm strike them far away. I don't know how far away they'll be pushed back, but you can palm strike them, then shot. I don't know. It's just fun to think of, but we'll see. So we'll pick hard shot and go with it. Okay. I spent a lot of time thinking what I want to pick. All of these are interesting, and the replay value is so high. We can't experience all of this in a single playthrough unless our party members are proficient in these or has expertise for these weapons and abilities. They probably will at least some of these, so we'll get to experience some of them. But yeah, I want to pick something that no one else might have. So unarmed and short bow. I don't know. We'll see. Hard shot next. Okay, so next is banner. I've chosen this. I didn't really. Maybe we can use this. I don't know. Yeah, this is better. And we'll have a darker background with the blue, which is kind of like the icon I have for my channel. So I'll do that. Yeah, this is also fine. This is there's more contrast here. So we'll stick with this. Next, enter name, Sirius Banan. I don't know how I got this name. Sirius is usually a character name I pick, but I don't know where this came from. It just came from somewhere. And we have these 3 recommended to us because of the expertise we have picked. This attribute is recommended to you because of your training in short bow. See? So I raised it from 10 to 12. Finesse. This attribute is strongly recommended for you because of your training in unarmed attacks and short bow. Okay, so it provides bonuses to both of these skills, which we'll see in the next screen. That is finesse. Quickness. This is recommended because of unarmed attacks. So unarmed attacks are challenging because instead of dealing heavy damage, it deals less damage, but we are faster. So maybe quickness is useful for that. We'll see. I don't know if we'll be able to increase our attribute points when we level up. We'll probably get to increase our skills, but maybe not attribute. This is very similar to Fallout, which I played prior to this game, where we could pick attributes, but attributes couldn't be raised after at least in a natural way. It couldn't be raised. Okay, when you level up, we don't get a chance to raise attributes. We get a chance to raise skills, which is in the next screen. So again, we have some recommended skills, which is primarily the things that I picked. So we have 20 points available. Bows, this skill is recommended for you because you're training in short bow. See, finesse into 1.5, base value 21. Might into 0.5. Okay, so we can raise this to maybe like 32. Unarmed combat, I think we'll focus more on unarmed because our expertise is more, because that's our primary expertise. This is +6. See, unarmed attacks expertise +6. So this is +6. This is probably because of it being primary, and short bow expertise is +2. Okay, yeah. Subterfuge. So subterfuge is really high for us because apparently unarmed attacks as well as short bow provides bonuses to subterfuge. Subterfuge skill determines a character's ability to move unseen through the environment, to detect and manipulate hidden traps and devices, and to open locked chests and doors. It's also used in dialogue to determine your ability to deceive or trick the person you're speaking with. So we're already a lawbreaker, right? We get +6 for subterfuge. We can kind of play a sneaky character. That's what I'm imagining right now. So all of these aligns with that. it benefits from wit, to be honest. So I don't know. It feels like maybe we should go back and do something with wit. Maybe less might and more wit. Vitality, resolve. Resolve determines a character's ability to endure physical and mental challenges. Resolve is a primary attribute used to derive endurance, will, and magic defenses. It also increases the duration of afflictions applied by the character. Vitality, 0% bonus health, 0 will defense. So we are kind of a glass can if we go this route. The wits attribute describe a character's mental acuity, their ability to observe the environments and pick up on clues. Wits is used to increase spell strength as well as increase magic defense. See, it says this. I don't know if it will affect your conversation and other things. Obviously, it affects subterfuge in an indirect way. Yeah, but it doesn't contribute to our combat prowess, you know. That's why I held off on increasing it. Maybe we'll go with this. Yeah, see, quickness also increases subterfuge. So let's increase our subterfuge to 40, unarmed also to maybe 38, bows to 32, athletics to 32, dodge to 32. Okay, we have 2 points left. Let's give it to unarmed. I don't know. Like the thing is, maybe in a second playthrough we'll have better idea of what to do with these points. Right now it's just, you know, I'm kind of blind and just relying on what they've written here. Probably more subtlety to how these things work that will become apparent once we start playing, you know. Okay, so skills. Let's go next. Okay, so I have not done any of these parts. Okay, this is the first time we're looking at. I just read this part, but yeah, let's look at it now. How do you want to continue? Serious Brennan. Conquest or Quick Start? Selecting Conquest option will allow you to play through Kairos' Conquest of the Tears, choosing how your character was involved in the invasion. This gives you the most control over the starting state of the game and how other factions will react to your character. Okay, so we have a history as a lawbreaker. But from the opening cutscene, we know that we're working as a fate binder to this overlord called Kairos. So I looked at the recording again earlier, and Kairos, the overlord is just basically an archon. He's just a very powerful archon, and he's kind of consolidated power. Every other archon has bent their knees to this overlord, and Tunon is the main archon, or like archon of justice under the command of Kairos. And then there are two main factions, the disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus. I forget their name. Scarlet Chorus, they're kind of bit more unruly. They're not as disciplined as disfavored. Disfavored are lesser in number, but they are stronger and like more proficient. And Scarlet Chorus, once they take over a region, they gave the choice for the defeated people. They give the choice to either serve or die. So that's how they increase their number. Yeah, and we are somehow directly working under Tunon, who's the main archon of justice. We have been selected by Tunon, and we are the youngest fate binder apparently. All of these from the original cutscene. Okay, so let's click on Conquest. I think we can configure some things in the next few screens. If you quick start, I think you can just skip over this section, but I don't know how elaborate this is going to be, but we'll see. Next. Oh, it goes to a cutscene. Okay.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home, the last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. 2 armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior.
Press spacebar to continue. So Tears is the region being invaded right now. It's actually a century after they have conquered the Northern Empire. So that's interesting. So it took a century for them. Their lifespan must be like so long if that's the case. If Kairos has been, it took him a century to invade this second area, and the narrator is saying that it's our home. So I wonder who the narrator is. Maybe it's talking about like we as a Fatebinder came from this region. You know, maybe it's that's the case.
In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
Okay, so we can see Disfigured on the right and Scarlet Chorus on the left. Look at this person. He has multiple masks and what looks like a green flame for a head. Right. And yeah, the Tearsmen are they're not united, so they'll probably fail in their defense. Okay, we're back to the character creation screen. Conquest. During Conquest, you will decide your character's actions during Kairos' invasion of the Tears, shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. Each choice you make affects your character and how the major factions of the Tiers respond to you. Your decisions matter, choose wisely. Okay, so we are going to invade this tier and we will have to deal with the different factions that was mentioned earlier. So, and based on our actions here, they'll behave differently. The Bastard City. Okay, the Bastard City stood on the northern border between Kairos' empire and the Tears, built upon a natural harbor at the crossroads between the realms. The city was a nexus of commerce. To the Tears, it was a center of all wealth. To a northerner, it was little more than a backwater trading post. Its symbolic status as a gateway to the continent made it a natural first target in Kairos' military conquest. Circumstances were ideal for you to prove your worth as a soldier in Kairos' army. Taking the city would send a message to the rest of the Tiers. Kairos' will is insurmountable. Alright. The most powerful mystic the world has ever seen. See? So he's just a normal mystic, but he was very powerful, and then he consolidated power and became this overlord. We don't even know the nature of magic or what it is in this world, you know. So maybe that's an explanation, an in-game lore explanation as to how these things work. We'll discover it later. Bastard City. Named for its position between two realms, the Northern Empire and the Southern Tiers, the Bastard City and its surrounding lands, known as the Bastard Tier, is a melting pot of cultures and a place of commerce and intrigue. The Tiersmen of the South view the Bastard City as a place of wealth and excess, but to the people of the Northern Empire, the Bastard City is little more than a sprawling slum. Tunon the Adjudicator established his court in the Bastard City. From his foothold in the Tiers, he and his court of Fatebinders imposed Kairos' law upon the conquered land. It says he already established his court. Okay, so we have already captured the city, but there are still factions remaining, and we'll have to deal with them in however way we choose. Next. Select a token on the map to begin. Bastard City. There's a progress bar here with 3 sections. Infiltrate the Tiers. Both armies send their forces to prepare the way. Oh, we're just outside the Bastard City? What did the previous dialogue box say? They said it said they established a something here, right? An encampment or something. Maybe this is the encampment. Gates of Judgment. In the first major engagement of war, Kairos' armies cross the mountain and establish a foothold. Bastard City. Both armies send their forces to prepare the way. What are the 2 armies? Is it like Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus? Let's just call them Chorus from now on, okay? Okay, let's select this. Infiltrate the Tiers. History would remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle of conquest. But the real combat unfolded with advanced units of both armies preparing for the coming war. The Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus each had a plan to infiltrate the capital city. Which army did you join? Oh, that's immediately a choice to join either Scarlet Chorus or Disfavored. Disciplined and battle-hardened, the Disfavored are an elite legion in Kairos' army. They spearhead the conquest of younger realm, finding themselves always outnumbered but never outclassed. Led by the steadfast and dutiful Graven Ash, whom they followed with obsessive devotion, they are committed to imposing their interpretation of order upon the relative lawlessness of the tiers. This is like order and chaos. Like Disfavor is an ordered regiment, while Scarlet Chorus is kind of anarchist in a way. The Legion only tolerates Northerners in their ranks, priding themselves on their high standards and cultural purity. Are we a Northerner? I don't think we are a Northerner. Scarlet Chorus. Scarlet Chorus is little more than a gang of thugs and their captive slaves. Rather than organized under commissioned officers, the chorus follow a hierarchy seemingly ruled by whoever has the bravado to command and defend their position. At the head of this chaotic pecking order, the Archon of Secrets, better known as the Voice of Nerat, treats the Scarlet Chorus as his personal army. The Scarlet Chorus often suffers tremendous losses after battle, only to swell in the aftermath when the captured enemies and collateral prisoners are given the cruel opportunity to join or die. Okay, both of these are super exciting to join, but I don't know, following our lore of being a lawbreaker, maybe we'll join Scarlet Chorus because that seems like a more it seems more ripe for manipulation as a lawbreaker. Disfavor, it will be harder to break their ranks and do all sorts of like mischief or whatever evil thing we can get to. So we'll choose Scarlet Chorus for now. Conscript enemy fighters for Scarlet Chorus, aid the disfavored scouts. He joined the Scarlet Chorus as they raided the villages and small towns, conscripting every able-bodied man and woman into the army. The Voices of Nerat, known in his official capacity as the Archon of Secrets, the Voices of Nerat. What a name, Voices of Nerat. See, it seems like it's not a single person. You saw that there are multiple masks, right? So it's some sort of, yeah, it's probably not a single individual. He's equal parts genius and madman. Rumor abound that he can steal the minds of others, though few, if any, are alive to confirm as much. The subjects of his interrogation are never heard from again, and Archon is able to recall the memories of his victims with startling accuracy. He is inconsistent leader of the Scarlet Chorus, vacillating between command. I think I've read this before. It's just I recorded it like a couple of days ago, so I'm coming back after few days of like trying to understand these menus and then recording again. Despite his strange methods, no one doubts that. Vacillating between commanding from Vanguard and directing his armies in Absentia. Despite his strange methods, no one doubts that the Voices of Nerad is an accomplished strategist, even suggesting that his madness stems from thinking hundreds, perhaps thousands of steps ahead of his enemies. What an interesting character. Emphasize the Voices of Nerad. Let's call him Nerad. Nerat emphasized the rewards of conscription and enslavement over wanton bloodshed. Apparently, his soldiers needed the reminder. Yeah, so he's nudging people to not kill everyone and instead conscript and enslave them so that their gang can grow. Next, the howling mobs of the Scarlet Chorus found easy pickings among the villages and frontier towns. Rallying an experienced gang under your control, you flooded the unprotected settlements with a deluge of bloodthirsty soldiers, rounding up the innocent for merciless rites of conscription. The young and infirm alike received makeshift weapons, and examples were made of all who challenged your forces. Bolstered with fresh recruits, your army gathered strength for the invasion to come. Okay, so we had to choose either one of them. We either have to conscript an army to an advanced army, or we have to directly engage in this thing. Inside Agent, you found an ally within the city to prepare the way for approaching armies. Containing the fire, the bastard city's resident fire mages threatened the first leg of conquest. Kairos' forces put a stop to their unchecked power. Hmm. So obviously, let's pick this one. Inside agents. I can't move this window. We could move the other windows around. With the border garrison captured by your disfavored allies. Border garrison. Is it this here? No, it's something else. Disfavored allies. You traveled ahead of Kairos' armies and lurked in the shadows of Bastard City. You decided that converting one of your one of the locals to Kairos' side would help bring the city to its knees. After all, corruption starts from within. A fast-talking smuggler, a well-informed guard captain. Okay, so I think even though we joined Scarlet Chorus, we are a disciplined lawbreaker. Okay, we can take advantage of Scarlet Chorus because we are an outside force who's not as chaotic as the Scarlet Chorus. So we'll go with the well-informed guard captain. Okay, we have a bit more organization and discipline, so to progress our agenda. Okay, whatever it is, I don't know what it is, but we'll figure it out. So we'll go with the well-informed captain. You enlisted a bitter captain of the guard to sell military secrets to the disfavored. Sorry, better that Kairos' forces march to their next inevitable victory well informed. Why secrets to disfavored though? Okay, so if we choose fast-talking smuggler, he'll probably give it to Scarlet Chorus. I see. You came to an arrangement with a well-connected smuggler who knew how to sneak agents of Scarlet Chorus behind the city walls. The Scarlet Chorus were better operatives than soldiers, and this work required a subtle touch. Interesting. Like, we have joined Scarlet Chorus, so I don't know how. I guess just affects the narrative and how people behave and respond to us or react to us. I don't know if disfigured will be disfavored. What the hell am I saying? Disfavored. Okay. So we'll choose guard captain still. We've already done something for the Scarlet Chorus, so now we can. Oh, we have okay. The first thing, it was not like a permanent arrangement. We can always choose differently. It was just for that particular military maneuver that we joined them. This time we can choose differently. So here we can choose disfavored. I was reading too much into it. I felt like we joined Scarlet Chorus, but it's not the case. We are directly under Tunon, so we can switch between these factions. These are maybe the two factions that the game was talking about, and not the factions in the city. Interesting. Okay, next. The captain of the guard was of a mind that the bastard city was corrupt and deserving of better leadership. You did nothing to convince him otherwise. After taking your promises of stature and security to heart, he offered you a list of valuable assets, from weakened stones in the rampart to the state of siege provisions, capping it off with a list of city officials whose loyalties could likewise be turned to support your cause. Betrayal of Bastard City. Your tactics of infiltration placed you in Bastard City ahead of the main armies. Your work softened the city defenses for the arrival of Kairos' forces, but you wanted a decisive gesture that would give your allies a meaningful advantage. How did you assist in the fall of the Bastard City? Alright, next. Betrayal of Bastard City. Duel the city marshal, incite a riot, spread fear through assassination. Oh, all of these are cool. Duel the city marshal. You challenge the commander of the Bastard City's defenses to an honorable fight to death. The disfavored wish to spare soldiers' lives for the battles ahead, and civilian lives for occupation. Various respites, one per encounter. You get an ability if you do this. Minus 50% damage for 12 seconds, plus 15% health every 3 seconds for 12 seconds. That's a heal. So it's a spell that we can use to heal. Attack skill athletics determines a character's ability to execute complicated moves. Okay, so this may be a complicated move. Valid weapons all. Stand your ground in the face of defeat. During this time, you will regenerate health rapidly, but your damage is significantly reduced. Oh, it's not damage taken, it's damage dealt. Interesting. Betrayal of the bastard. Insider riot. Spreading the word of Kairos, you convert the poor and Wow, look at that. It's just. Am I able to scroll it sideways? Text is kind of clipping here. Spreading the word of Kairos, you converted the poor and disaffected into a hidden army of the Scarlet Chorus. Poor and disaffected into a hidden army of the Scarlet Chorus. Once the dust settled, the army wished to bolster their troops with these sleeper cells. Searing Palm. Ranged, cooldown 24 seconds. 815 fire versus magic. Mage Fire. Causes burn damage over time. Recovery. Control Fire determines a character's ability to evoke and control spells that use a sigil of fire. Higher skill values. Okay. Gather heated energy into your hands and release it onto a foe. Target ignites in flames, burning over time. Okay. Spread fear through assassination. Keeping to the shadows, you eliminate the leaders of the bastard city one by one. This is best for this sounds best for subterfuge. Concealing shadows. Melee, cooldown 1 per encounter. Plus 100% grace deflection for 12 seconds. When a character is attacked and the hit result has been determined, the target's deflection percentage is checked. Deflection can reduce an attack by one hit result. Grace can convert to a miss. Okay. Deflection is a property of equipable clothing and armor and is also present in talents and abilities. Each modifier to a character's deflection lists the type of hit result it converts, as well as a percentage chance it will do so when the character is struck. The types of deflection are crit to hit, hit to grace, grace to miss. So these are the 3 different types of hits available: critical hit, normal hit, and grace. And deflection reduces it to 1 level below. And miss, of course, completely miss something. The finesse attribute increases the amount of deflection granted by equipped armor. We have finesse. We have a lot of finesse. Okay. So something determines if it's a crit, hit, grace, or a miss. But then it's adjusted again using deflection. Is it? And it depends on many things, including finesse and whatever armor we have equipped. Yeah. Maybe it's even like, if it's a leather armor, maybe it will shift a grace to a miss, but it cannot shift a crit to a hit. Maybe even that is possible. Maybe only a couple of these will be applicable, or 1 or 2 of these will be applicable to each armor type. Concealing shadows, 100% grace deflection. So if anything graces us, it will be deflected. That's 100% grace. Minus 100 accuracy for 12 seconds. All attacks in Tyranny compare attackers' accuracy value to one of the 5 defenses: parry, direct melee attacks, dodge, direct ranged attacks, endurance, body system attacks like stun and prone, will, mental attacks, and magic. These are the different defense types. Accuracy is defined primarily by the attacker's skill with that type of attack: weapon skill for physical attacks, magic skill for spell attacks, etc. It can be influenced by finesse, talents, and other active effects such as spells or items. When an attack is made, the attacker's accuracy is compared to the appropriate defense on the target to determine how the attack roll will be modified. If accuracy is above the target's defense, it will be more likely to result in a hit or crit, less likely to result in a grace or miss. Okay. Dodge and parry is high, grace is high. Subterfuge skill determines character's ability to move unseen through environments. Why is it 23? Our subterfuge is like 30. Maybe it's a base subterfuge. I don't know why it's mentioned as 23 here. Create a cloud of obscuring shadows and dust. For a short duration, enemies that use physical attacks against you have a significantly increased chance to miss. During these times, your attack will also be less effective. It's a 12-second duration spell. It relies on our subterfuge for a successful roll. Is that what this is? We'll pick this, okay? It lines well with our character as well as having a pretty cool ability. This is also really good, but I don't know. I don't know where we'll end up. Some deaths were quiet and unnoticed, while others were gruesome beyond words. As a wave of murder overtook city's elite, your deeds swelled in infamy. Well before the armies arrived, no one in Bastard City felt safe in their homes, much less behind their walls. By the time Kairos' forces crested the horizon, the city was fearful enough to throw open the gates and welcome their new protectors. Okay, alright. It's crumbled. City has been melted down. That's just the first section, I guess. This is the first conquest. And here we are moving to the next area. Okay, the Bastard City settled into a new state of normalcy with every tower displaying Kairos' banner. Your name was whispered alongside rumors of a decorated carrier to come. The armies divided into two fronts and migrated south. Tunon sent word that you were to join the next frontier of Kairos' conquest, either as a judge and overseer of the settlement of Lethian's Crossing, or as war advisor with the armies advancing into the realm of Apex. You can either go here or here, Apex. Okay, alright. It's the same description, I think. Okay. Interesting. It's branching out even further. You may choose only one of these locations. Apex. The troops of the mountain realm of Apex stood idle in the safety of their valley, biding their time as their neighbors in the Bastard tier fell. In second year of war, a joint force of the disfavored and scarlet chorus crossed over the mountains to take control of the tier's central valley. The central valley. Lethian's Crossing. Deposits of iron made the settlement of Lethian's Crossing a strategic war asset. Cairo sent forge-bound smith mages of exceptional skill to establish a flow of weaponry. Tunon the Adjudicator sent one of his fate-binders to ensure the enforcement of Kairos' law. Judge and overseer of the settlement. Next one is a war advisor. So I think we'll become a judge and overseer. Let's go with the flow. We'll try not to think too much about it and just pick based on instinct, because it seems like there'll be multiple choices to make and it'll take an hour to go through this. So let's go. Lethian's Crossing. Okay, confirm. Year 2 of Kairos' conquest. Okay. Years ago, Lethian the Bold founded a small merchant town at the intersection of ancient old walls. A pact between the settlers and mercenary company meant that the caravans were able to travel without fear of bandits or bane. And the town thrived in modest insignificance. What is bane? Lethian's Crossing drew Kairos' attention for the iron deposits in the surrounding hills. With the region under Kairos' control, the northern smith mages could set up workshops to refine ore and arm the disfavored with the finest weapons in the known world. The Archon of Secrets dismantled the mercenary support with a generous bribe, taking the crossing in a bloodless victory. Tunon dispatched you to travel alongside Kairos' forces to bring order to the region. Wait, who was Archon of Secrets? Was this Nerat or Graven Ash? I imagine it's... Okay. The Does it say here who? Doesn't say who he is. What kind of Archon he is. Let's just assume it's. I don't know. It felt like Nerat was Archon of Secrets. What was Nerat? I don't know. Okay, we have two different things we can choose. The Cult of Sirin, Archon of Song's power ensnared the mind of a disfavored soldier. Oh, these are just events. Okay. Iron must flow. You found a clever solution to improve the production of iron weapons and armor. Archon of Song. Who was Archon of Song? We can choose and go back. We should have done that earlier. Kairos' mages worked day and night to create weapons. No one faulted their dedication, yet production was slow. The plan that came to light proved divisive to Disfavored and Skullchorus. On one hand, any additional manpower was needed for fighters, not forges. On the other hand, the celebrated weaponry of Kairos' armies needed to be fiercely guarded. We can choose one or the other. Sirin, Archon of Song, used her arcane charm to lure locals into joining Kairos' army. As a patroness of Scarlet Chorus, her efforts were critical to the conscription of new recruits. When an enthralled, disfavored soldier joined her cult, his company feared that the Archon was growing out of control and needed to be stopped. There'll be some infighting between Archons if we choose this. Destroy Siren's cult. Send Siren's cult to the vanguard. Okay. We don't need another manipulator within the ranks. We should be the one doing that. So let's just destroy her. Disfavored demanded that the Archon of Song cease her recruitment practices and that they'll be allowed to violently subdue her cult of followers. The loss of soldiers was a significant setback to Scarlet Chorus's conscription efforts. Next. In response to your ruling, the Archon of Song departed your company in bitter silence, but not before releasing her arcane hold over the latest batch of recruits. The Disfavored remained obstinate that the dispersal of her cult continued as planned. Hunting down the confused or memory-stricken innocents, they put to death those who they couldn't beat into obedience. The Scarlet Chorus barely restrained themselves from indignity, which proved a major setback to their army's strength in numbers. We're leaning more and more towards Disfavored. Red Anvil. Ancient Threats. A Red Anvil. One of Kairos' smith mages swore allegiance to Scarlet Chorus, jealously hoarding the secret iron of forging. The Disfavored demanded the smith's immediate return. The Scarlet Chorus insisted that they were within their rights to take allegiance from any source. Timbers flared and the forges cooled as arguments stalled productivity. Lot of infighting between these factions. Ancient threats. Drawn to the arcane energy around the forges, mystical predators from nearby old walls began to raid Lethain's crossing at all hours. Both of Kairos' armies reserved their strength for the front lines of the war, and yet the city required protection. You had to delegate the responsibilities somewhere. As the largest army, you tasked Scarlet Chorus with the burden of security. The Disfavored took the opportunity to gather their strength. Since the Disfavored used most of the iron that came out of Lethain's crossing, it fell to them to stand as city's vigilant protectors. The Scarlet Chorus enjoyed a necessary reprieve. Since Smith Mage would not willingly return to work, you enlisted Disfavored to return him there in chains. Since Kairos' law dictated that the secrets of iron be granted only to the Smith Mages, you ruled that the new recruit's mind be erased of all memory. He is no longer a Smith Mage once he joins Scarlet Chorus. Let's go with this one and choose Scarlet Chorus. Give them a rest while Disfavored guard the city against whatever threats. Though the disfavored were averse to your ruling, they couldn't argue with the reasoning behind it. They rallied in the streets of Lethian's Crossing, patrolling on alert in shifts that lasted day and night in an impressive show of force. They managed to repel several attacks from the predators in districts that would have otherwise suffered great harm. Able to do some good, the disfavored still detested you for keeping them from battle with their real enemies in the tears. Who controlled the crossing? Tragedy struck when a mercenary hired by the voices of Nerat injured a forge-bound artisan. Forge-bound. Forge-bound are mage smiths shown to Kairos' service through their operations in tiers. Though their operations in the tiers are overseen by Tunon and his court of Fatebinders. Each forge-bound uses magic as a tool to augment their personal crafts. Most commonly smelting and metalworking, but carpenters, tailors, and tanners are found in their ranks. And each mage strives to create that which is impossible with mundane hands. Most notably, the Forgebound are the sole masters of ironworking in the known world. Using spells of fire resistance to wade into the forge fires, the Forgebound can work iron at temperatures no other forge can match, and with a hands-on touch that no mundane smith could hope to achieve. Because of this vital skill, the Forgebound are considered a strategic war asset. Their lives regimented and controlled so that the forges may churn out iron arms and armor without debate, delay, or distraction. Okay, a mercenary of Narad injured a forbound artisan, leaving him unable to practice his craft. Tunon ordered the mercenaries to leave the city in hands of Kairos' more responsible servants. Only a token garrison could be left behind while the armies returned to the front. As the disfavored and Chorus showed increasing tension and hostility towards each other, Tunon decreed it best that only one force controlled the crossing. So we had to choose who controls the crossing. Okay. Who's controlling the crossing? It should be disfavored. You grant the control of Lethian's crossing to the disfavored. The disfavored placed a modest garrison in the settlement of Lethian's crossing. Though the force was larger than might be needed to police the small settlement, protecting the forge-bound ironsmiths became the true agenda of the defense force, as his magical craftsmen kept the disfavored invasion force suited in iron. Relieved at the departure of Scarlet Chorus, the citizens of Lethian's crossing felt they got the least of two burdens. You received word from Graven Ash that thanking you for the decision. Forgebound and their weaponry could not be entrusted to the voices of Nerat. So Graven Ash, if you look here, does he say what kind of Archon he is? Graven Ash has a powerful bond to the soldiers under his command and regards each of them as family. The death of a soldier at enemy hands represents a grievous loss to the old general, who bears the burden of his love with mournful stoicism. Oh god, there are 3 we can choose from? Holy shit. This keeps on branching out further and further. It's like a mini game in and of itself. Like, what the hell? I don't know if we are here or here. This was here, right? This was here. I don't know anymore. With the mercenaries expelled and Lethians crossing under new leadership, Kairos' forces congratulated themselves on bringing order to the settlement and guaranteeing a productive flow of resources. Over the course of this diversion, the army front advances further into tiers. Your skills were needed in the Realm of Ashur, Stalwart, or the Vellum Citadel. Vellum Citadel has... Okay, the Vellum Citadel was a library fortress, largest archive of written word in the tiers. The School of Ink and Quill protected and maintained the archive of ancient lore for centuries, standing apart from political upheavals of younger realms as an enduring pillar of knowledge and culture. Kairos' conquering gaze fell upon the Vellum Citadel, its treasures, its knowledge, its secrets. Stalwart. With its easily defended position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart was most formidable realm in the TS. Assure. Kairos dispatched the Archon of Stone to subjugate the nation of Assure. Let's go with the Citadel one. Year 3. Okay, we're here. Willem Citadel was an archive and library of massive scale. Its inhabitants were known as the School of Ink and Ink and Quill, a circle of mages that centuries ago carved out their own mountainous refuge on lands unsettled by other major realms. Legend said that the citadel housed a treasure trove of arcane knowledge. The overlord's spies infiltrated the school and confirmed as much. The time was ripe to send a detachment to the great library fortress and force the scholars to yield to Kairos. Scroll or sword. Chain of command. Peaceful surrender turned bloody. A detachment of Kairos' army marched on Vellum Citadel, expecting an orderly surrender. As they neared the main gates, a blast of arcane energy struck the commanders dead. Suddenly, the highest ranking officer alive, Kairos' forces looked to you for the next steps. The call weighed on your minds as it had an immediate influence on the soldiers' losses. You ordered the expendable Scarlet Chorus to attack, commanding the disorderly mob forward to give the elite disfavored a chance to withdraw. Though a costly maneuver in terms of lives lost, this assured the survival of the most capable and effective soldiers. You ordered disfavored to advance their shield wall, knowing that a handful of Kairos' elite soldiers could hold off the attack until Scarlet Chorus retreated. You knew disfavored would despise you for any losses at the Scarlet Chorus's expense, but that was a small price to pay for saving lives. Song of Ensnarement. Syrian Archon of Song used her power to enthrall enemy mages who crept beyond the citadel walls. After Kairos' forces rounded up the arcane practitioners, the disfavored began executing the new captives before they could share dangerous knowledge, a crime under Kairos' law. With the Scarlet Chorus. Oh, the Scarlet. So, disfavored is trying to prevent these mages from sharing what's supposedly dangerous knowledge with Scarlet Chorus. You calm the disfavored with a compromise. The sage's mouth will be bound with iron bridles, preventing them from speaking their forbidden knowledge. You punish the disfavored for executing mages bound to Scarlet Chorus, ordering that several disfavored soldiers be given to the Archon of Song as her personal bodyguards. Ooh. We can gain some favor with the chorus if we choose this. But it's such an extreme action. And it's an extreme action because it goes against Kairos' law, you know. I don't want to piss off Kairos by letting the mages share the knowledge. But the thing is, they were already executed, so they're not gonna get to share the knowledge. But we are kind of endorsing that behavior, right? By punishing them for executing. So I don't know if that's But I really don't want this person pissed off, Sirin. We already pushed her away last time when she was trying to ensnare a soldier or something. I want to kind of maintain some diplomatic relations with all types of factions. So maybe it makes sense we give her some disfavored soldiers. I don't know. The wisdom of the sages and the knowledge of the Vellum Citadel were too important to silence. The disfavored barked at entering the Archon's service, but your ruling left them with no recourse. Archon Siren, delighted in having new toys to play with, and promptly enthralled her personal guard. You spotted them in camp days later, following their new mistress with wide-eyed devotion. Okay. God, lots of reading. My thought is... Okay. The Archon of Song incited Scarlet Chorus. Recruits to fight their leaders. Bosses were killed and supplanted left and right. The disfavored demanded an end to the practice for the good of Conquest. She's really a wild card. I gave her something last turn and now she's pushing it even further. He agreed with the disfavored arguments. The right of command had its place, but not when Kairos' forces were outnumbered and reinforcements were weeks behind. If not longer. Okay. Thing is, this is kind of okay for them to do in Scarlet Chorus. It says it here, right? Rather than organized under commissioned officers, the chorus followed a hierarchy seemingly ruled by whoever has the bravado to command and defend their position. So she just kind of did a mutiny here, I think. Voices of Narat is the one who's commanding them right now, right? Bosses were killed and supplanted left and right. So I don't know what she's doing here. Yeah, she's just playing internal politics when we have a war going on. That's not good for us as a whole. You ruled that each Archon had the right to govern their armies according to their nature. The right of command brought chaos, but also ensured that the strongest rise to lead. Okay, what's this? Spy Master's agents. A group of enemy mages surrendered to the disfavored, claiming to be spies loyal to Nerat. No one in the army could verify the claim. The disfavored ready to interrogate the mages, but Chorus protested, demanding that the prisoners be given to their custody. They couldn't risk the Narrator's secrets falling into the wrong hands. Interesting situation. Though it meant angering the Scarlet Chorus, the mages were disfavored property. They remained in custody while you reviewed their claims. You ignored disfavored threats, sharply reminding them that they marched at Kairos' orders and not their own whims. The mages were released into the custody of Scarlet Chorus. We should quell this rebellion? I don't know. This Archon of Song and ourselves have such a love-hate relationship right now. God damn it. Let's sow more chaos. Let's support this decision. Your keen understanding of their ways pleased and surprised Scarlet Chorus detachment, who thanked you for the ruling. The following evening, 2 gang bosses were murdered in their palates and replaced by stronger variants, who fought hard to defend their status. Though the camp grew quieter over time, the chorus fought with thrice the ferocity under new leadership. Okay. Disgusted by your approbation of the Scarlet Chorus, the disfavored forces withdrew from the field of battle. Your small detachment now lacked the manpower to take the Vellum Citadel. Oh shit. Junon sent word that Kairos' patience had run thin. The Overlord would cast an edict of fire on the enemy. The parchment arrived in a slender case of engraved iron. Written on it, the words of a spell powerful enough to destroy the Vellum Citadel. You had the choice of when to read the edict. Let's see what edict is. Kairos' most powerful magic is that of the edict. Commandments cast upon whole regions that can control and destroy man and nature alike. Once cast, an edict can rain fire, wither crops, demoralize cities, usher in endless nights, or do whatever it is Kairos envisioned. No known force, magical or mundane, can stop an edict, though each edict is often worded to include some condition or contingency that will see its end. Oh, interesting. Some edicts have been short-lived, delivering days of van and catastrophe. Yeah. Just as many have lingered for centuries. Okay, so we can choose to read it. Opting to give the enemy no quarter, you proclaim the edict of fire at the first moment of dawn, granting the enemy no warning of the destruction to come. Though the chorus insisted your actions doomed their spies, the disfavored applauded your decision. Claiming they still had spies within the citadel, the Scarlet Chorus urged you to warn their mages of the Overlord's edict. Granting their request, you met with the enemy under a blue flag of peace and warned them of their doom, giving chorus spies and the enemy a chance to run. Yeah, we can do that. You confronted the mages with a warning and hoped the message was received. The hour before sunset, numerous figures were spotted fleeing the citadel. As the sun dipped under the horizon, you read the words of edict. The earth shook and red-orange light glowed in the foundation of the sprawling citadel, bubbling up from bubbling up from under the library, a torrent of lava heated with explosive force, gushing from windows and between loose bricks. Melting winding trenches in the surrounding lands. Days later, the flames still raged on, the conflagration continually fed and renewed by the power of the edict. The entire city was just destroyed. They had so much knowledge and there was a library there, right? So all of that would be destroyed by now. The armies of Kairos left the devastation of Vellum Citadel in silence. From that day forward, the Tears came to know the once noble citadel as the burning library. This was undisputed loss of resources, knowledge, culture, and life. But a message had been sent. The Overlord will not tolerate defiance. You didn't have long to rest before Junon called you into service once more. You were one of the last to depart from the mountains, and as you journeyed off, you spotted a few campfires in the mountains. They were mere specks, dwarfed by the inferno, the last gasps of survivors, or perhaps looters from Kairos' armies, bored and daring enough to peek through the ashes. This could be the ones whom we warned earlier, so they escaped to the mountains. Or looters from Kairos' army. Okay, alright. You have reached the end of Kairos' conquest. Do you wish to continue or erase your progress and start over? Holy shit. No, let's just continue. Shift to issue multiple commands.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The younger realms, the bastard tier, the free cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands.
It feels like it's at the end of the game. We have completed the story arc. I don't know where it goes from here on out. I don't know what twist they can throw in here. It was like the last section that was left to be conquered, right? So I don't know. Maybe the tyranny is against us. We have become the rightful owners and rulers of this place, and now a tyranny rises up from the land that we have conquered so far. Maybe that could be the theme.
But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault.
Okay, so at this point, I don't know which part is being tyrannical. Like, if we have become the rightful owner, then we can say, like, rightful rulers, then we can say that these people defending are kind of, this is kind of like an uprising. But they are the last remnants. They have not yet been conquered. So, I don't know. Maybe we are the tyrants.
With their main forces spread across the tiers, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection. The Overlord is not amused. And Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons.
I accidentally skipped ahead. It's so annoying because something caused the window to minimize, and when it popped open again, I missed dialogue. But then when I clicked on the screen, I previously clicked on this button to continue. If you click anywhere in the screen, it skips ahead. Like, what the hell? I was not finished reading that. I don't know what was said in the last page. All of them are dying. The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons. Crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict. A magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. I want to figure out who the Oathbreakers are, so let me stop the recording and see what was in the last screen. Give me a moment. Okay, I think Oathbreakers simply refer to the people who are yet to submit, the people hauled up in the valley. But it shows many banners, right? So I don't know if, I guess it's just after killing them they've planted the banners. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Send across the mountains to Vendrian's well. You carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. They need to quell this rebellion really quickly, or he wants the whole place erased.
As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos's magic seals the way behind you.
Oh, so if we do an edict, everyone will die? So we have to settle it here? Is that what it is?
You are trapped in Vendrian's well, with Kairos's armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
Does it mean we have to enact the edict and then find a way to finish it? Like, there are certain terms written into an edict that will allow us to come out of it, right? Is that what it is? I don't know. Whoa, that was a good transition. Jesus, already there are a lot of UI elements, and I'm okay. Is there a tutorial? Is there anything? Welcome to Terratus. If this is your first visit to the world of Tyranny, watch for these windows to help you become familiar with the game. You can disable tutorial messages at any time from the game options menu. Wow. Let's quickly look at the UI and have a single conversation. I hope we can still save. We can save. New save file. Cool. Hopefully they already auto-saved. Wow, lot of stuff. I'm already so excited because of the graphics. It's nice to look at something pretty like this, you know. Let me also increase the resolution. I don't think it will reflect in the recording, but at least I can have a... Okay. I need to maybe... Okay. You can zoom in and out. People strung up. This is probably Kairos' symbol, or insignia, whatever it is. Oh, this is us. For a second I thought this was us. We should have picked a smaller character. Oh! Aurora, Kairos, the Overlord be praised. When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. Disfavored warrior claps her gauntlet to her breastplate, the traditional salute of her region. She does not realize that Kairos has trapped us inside. I don't think. Question mark, characters, lore and reactivity tooltips. Characters. Most people you encounter in the world are neutral or friendly. You can interact with them by clicking on their selection circle. Many characters will simply greet you and go on their way, but others will have larger conversations to explore. The soldier Aurora has an important conversation for you. Lore and reactivity tooltips. In many conversations, you will see words or phrases displayed in green text color. The tooltips on these provide you with information that your character knows about the world based on previous choices you have made. These links can explain why another character is being friendly or hostile to you. Purple. So this is a disfavored warrior. Conversations. Conversations involve you, another character, and sometimes additional parties like bystanders or companions who may interject. The choices you make change how the story develops and will build a reputation for your character over time. People in the world will learn of your reputations, good and bad, and respond accordingly. Your character's attributes, skills, history. Can I move it around? I can't. The character's attributes, skills, history, and gender, as well as decisions you made in the Conquest, may all open up options for you in dialogue. These options are not necessarily superior to other responses, but give you a wider variety of choices to select from. The manner in which someone responds to your choices depends on their individual personality and attitude. Each character who speaks to you will display a banner beneath their portrait. These banners indicate which faction the character is allied with. The tooltips on these banners will provide details about how the faction feels about you. You will often see the names of important characters and locations displayed in gold text color. Is that gold? The tooltip on these glossary entries provide you with important information about the world. So green is because of our previous choices and understanding of the world. This is just general law. Irrespective of what we have done previously. Disfavored, favor, 41% to tier 1, wrath, 0% to tier 1. Favor and wrath, they can be tracked separately. And tier 1, tier 2, I guess it means they have multiple tiers of being favorable and wrathful. The commander wouldn't say why the governor of Lethian's Crossing Conquest decision. In year 29, you were assigned the governor of Lethian's Crossing, overseeing the Iron Forges tasked with supplying the host of war. The tiny settlement grew quickly that year, and before leaving, you assigned control of settlement to the disfavored, whose elite soldiers benefit the most from forges output. Having improved efficiency, order, and quality of the forges, many disfavored soldiers think you as the chief rainmaker of their arsenal, much to the chagrin of the mage smiths that actually hammered the iron, and still think of you as the honorary governor of Lethian's Crossing. Cool. Right. The commander wouldn't say why the governor would be coming, but since we have no forges here, I imagine you're here to knock some sense into the voices of Nerat. She catches herself clearing her throat with a smile. I mean, mediate with the Archons so that we might agree on a plan to wipe out these Oathbearers. Oathbreakers. In honor of the Vendian Guard reneging on the surrender of Fort 29. I don't know what. There are so many new words. I have to look them up constantly, I think. Reneging. I don't even know how to pronounce that word. Failed to fulfill a promise or obligation. In honor of Indian Guard reneging on the surrender of 429, soldiers in both Disfavored and Skull Chorus now refer to these TS men as Oathbreakers. It is perhaps one of the few points of agreement between the Disfavored and Skull Chorus. Indian Guard. Glare silently. I am in a hurry to deliver a message to the Archons. I come bearing an edict of Kairos. Our soldiers will complete their task or die. Lore 20. Is it a roll? Or we basically just need Lore 20 to have this option. Can you hear that hum in the air, that glow around the rocks? The avalanche is Kairos' magic. The Overlord has sealed the valley. I want to be this kind of person. Really talkative. and ultimately manipulative, but will soften everyone up, share knowledge that they shouldn't know, things like that. You gain 50 law skill experience. Your senses see more than mine, good Fate Painter. I do not pretend to know much about such things, but if that was Kairos' magic and you're here on important business, well, you don't have to be the Archon of Secrets to guess that you're here to proclaim an edict. What does Kairos have in store for the enemy? 10 years of festering plague, an edict of twisted bonds? Glare silently. Okay. I'm in a hurry to deliver a message to the Archons. Okay. I come bearing an edict of Kairos. Our soldiers will complete their task or die. Everyone's stuck in their animation and the dialogue goes on. The edict is leveled against us. Her eyes widen with fear. Her posture slackens. But the Scarlet Chorus prevents us from taking action. Why would the Overlord punish both of? She clears her throat with a sigh. Forgive me. It's not my place to question. We should have conquered the enemy within weeks of arriving in the valley. The delay reflects poorly on all of us. Okay. If we all follow Kairos' will and stop the insurrection, no harm will come to any of us. Glare silently. 2 Archons and their armies cannot take a citadel they have taken before? Of course, Kairos is displeased. Subterfuge. Your first instinct is to blame Scarlet Chorus. No wonder Kairos resort to an edict to enforce order. I feel like this will give us experience. It's immediately I want to say that because earlier we got like 50 skill points or 50 experience points for picking that extra option. Let's see. I don't think she'll be a super important character, so I can kind of push her around a little bit. You gain 8 subterfuge skill experience. Yes, well, her eyes shift to the side. There has indeed been little goodwill between our armies, and you're right. We act as we do. What choice do we give the Overlord? When we act as we do, what choice do we give the Overlord? I'm going to have a lot of trouble reading these complicated sentences. Skill increase. It's just like the quantity is so high, right? So, yeah. One of your skills has gone up a rank. As you use your skills in the game, they accumulate experience. When they gain enough experience, they will increase their skill rank. As skill ranks increase, your character will gain experience towards their next level. Press C to open character sheet and view your current skill experience. It seems like double leveling up. So first we have to level up our skill. Once it goes above a skill level or skill rank, then it contributes to overall level experience points. It's like that Skyrim system where you can keep using a particular skill to improve that skill, but it also contributes to... No, there was... Yeah, it also contributes to... If I remember correctly, we gain experience by killing enemies or by just using the skill. I think it was just by using the skill. You keep using the same skill, it'll improve that skill. That much I am sure. But I don't know how the leveling it work. Here it looks kind of similar. We first increase a particular skill which contributes to a skill rank, which then contributes to an overall level increase or experience, which then leads to next level. We can hit C. No, not here. Yes, well, okay, yeah. She takes a deep breath, nodding as she exhales. And you're right, I should not cast blame so freely, especially not when talking to a servant of justice. My apologies. She'll do it in secret with her colleagues, I guess. Well, you've traveled a long way. I won't keep you further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hear from you at... Her voice falls silent, her attention snapping eastward with alarm. Did you hear that? More runners. 3rd time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messengers to the mountains to gather help from outside the valley. She points over to the collapsed path by which you arrived. But they're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight. End conversation. Immediately thrust into battle. Oh, sorry. Combat. Tyranny uses a possible real-time combat system. Because you'll often manage more than one character at a time, it's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders and assume real-time to see the orders play out. The options menu also contains many choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met. Example, the start of combat. Press spacebar to pause and unpause again. Your character can always perform basic attacks using their equipped weapon or their fists if fighting unarmed. Characters also have special abilities and spells they can use in combat. When a character is selected, their ability bar will show up. Ability bar displays their hotkeyed abilities. As new abilities and spells are gained, they are automatically added to the ability bar. So we have Thrust, Palm Strike, Hard Shot, and Concealing Shadows. I don't remember Thrust. I remember everything else. Palm Strike was from our unarmed fighting style. This was from short bow. This was from that Conquest mission, I think. That first Conquest mission. Choice. This is maybe just a basic attack, I guess. Single target attack that inherits the elements of attacker's fighting style. Yeah. All valid weapons. And it shows our arm. So this is just our basic attack. Left click to toggle party AI. Right click to change party AI settings. We don't have a party, so nothing's showing up. AI behavior enabled. Defend party. The character will attack anyone who attacks a member of their party, but will not seek out targets unless provoked. Stealth toggle. Left alt, right alt. Select all party members. F5 or backspace. Formations, I guess. We have 4 party members. 1 and 2. Oh, these are custom formations. I see. Interesting. Camping supplies, 4 out of 10. Camping will remove all wounds. Okay. Lesser healing potion, 20. Target effects self, 25% health. Restores a small amount of health. Dodge, parry, endurance, will, magic, armor. Okay, so these are our defenses. Talents, spells, combo abilities, artifact abilities, reputation abilities, battle stance, weapon sets, quick items. Huh. We switch to our bow. You can't change equipment during abilities. Okay. Health. We can't move it. Okay. For glory of Kairos. Next. All of the characters' abilities and spells can be accessed by selecting the category item. Category icon at the bottom of the selected frame. Abilities are grouped into talents, spells, combos, artifact, reputation, stances. Okay. Category icons for weapon sets and quick items. Follow. Okay. So different groupings of abilities. Then there's weapon set and quick items. To use an ability, left click on the ability icon or press on the hotkey corresponding to its location on the ability bar. Your cursor will indicate whether your mouse is over a valid target for the ability. If the cursor has a red X, which is this, I guess. This image could have been larger. It's too small to see. If the cursor has a red X in the corner, you are not over a valid target. If the cursor has a pair of feet in the corner, you will need to move closer to the target to use the ability. This is feet, this is X. This is maybe usable, I guess. Oof. Darkest demos. All characters in the game, friend and foe, have 5 primary defenses against attacks: parry, dodge, endurance, will, and magic. These defenses are based on the character's attributes, equipped items, and other effects. A character's accuracy is based on the skill with the type of the weapon they're wielding. Accuracy is compared to the appropriate defense when an attack is made to determine how likely it is that attack will hit. There are 4 possible results from any attack: hit, critical hit, graze, and miss. A critical hit increases your damage, while a graze reduces it. With each attack, you gain experience in the weapon skill used to make the attack. Even a miss will grant some experience. Okay. We can palm strike 3-meter push. It has a cooldown of 27 seconds. She's a melee character. If I push him farther away, he'll just yeah. Let's attack. Let's do our first primary attack. See, we can't attack our allies. We have to attack the enemies. Cleaving strike, 66%. What does this one mean? I can't click on it right now. Right. Let's use a skill, an attack on this guy. I don't know if we can see the action queued for us. Oh god, there's a whole section of menus on the top that I didn't check. Missives, world map, in-game menu, inventory, character sheets, talents, journal. We'll check this section after our combat. I think we'll finish this combat, end the conversation with Aurora, and close the episode. And then we'll pick it up from here next episode, because this seems like we'll waste a lot of time checking these menus. But yeah, let's did it turn into a sword when you hover over this enemy? Okay. Yeah, I wish we could see like the abilities we had queued to shift. So we also saw a menu help earlier which said that we can hold down shift to queue up multiple commands. Right click to lock. Oh, we can lock this menu here. Interesting. No, don't move, cancel. Shit, how do I... Options, controls, cancel action. X is cancel action. Okay, movement and control. To move your character, click anywhere on the screen where your cursor is a circle of 4 wedges. If you see a red circle with a line through it, this, you cannot walk on that part of the map. As you add companions to your party, all selected party members will move to their corresponding position in the formation. Oh. So we can't individually move them, they'll always move as a formation. You can pause the game at any time by pressing spacebar on the keyboard or by clicking on the time of the day icon on the interface. This can pause the game too. Press spacebar or click on the icon again to unpause. You can view and manage your character's inventory, attributes and talents using the buttons on the navigation bar at the top of the screen, or by pressing the hotkey of the associated various interfaces: I inventory, C character sheet, T for talent, J for quest, so on. Quest journal. Okay. Escape at any time to save the game or load a saved game, or to exit Tyranny. You can also use F6 to create a quick save of the game and F8 to load your last quick save. Okay, so help is gone. Let's F6 to quick save. Cannot save while... Oh, you can't save while in combat. I see. We have to go through an entire encounter without saving. Interesting. So let's do the palm strike. Oh, sorry. Normal thrust attack? Yeah. Unpause. Oh, he's sliced us. Is there a log somewhere? I feel like there'll be a log. Chat log, combat log. Honor guard hits serious burn 20 slashing. Okay. Graces honor guard 3 crushing. Serious burn graces honor guard 1 crushing. He grazed him. Let's push him back, he's too dangerous. What? I did ask him to Need to push him back, right? Grace's honor guard 11 crushing. Activates palm strike. Critically hits honor guard 1 slashing. Can I move this one around? Okay, this is better. We'll probably disable this or like move away from this once we know what's happening in the combat. But it'll be useful now to keep an eye on it. 49 accuracy. Unarmed 40 plus bonus 9 versus 47 defense. Parry 7, bonus 30. Advantage. Miss is 1 to 6. Raise is 6 36. Hit is 35 to 95. Crit is 96 to 100. Grace. Roll is 30. How does this work? Oh. 11 crush damage. 17 damage. Bonus minus 5 versus 6 armor. Bonus 0. (17 minus 6, 11 crushing. There's a hit roll and then there's a damage roll. Just trying to understand. 49 accuracy versus 47 defense. So we have a bonus of 2. Then we roll a 30. And it'll be 32, which is inside the grace range, which is 6 to 34. So our damage will be a grace. Yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully we'll figure it out later. How much health does he have? Injured. Doesn't show his health bar. I wish we could see his health bar. Maybe it's this circle here. That's his health bar. What is our recovery? Recovery is 2.6 seconds. I don't think it's useful enough because he's already...
Right.
Huh. He is bleeding now. Oh, that's the range. Cool. No. Use the... Oh, I can't switch weapons. I had to switch. Okay, it is already switched to short bow. I guess when we use this ability, it switched to short bow. No, this is not what I want. I want the attack from short bow. See, it still says thrust. I should have like a normal attack with the bow, right? Why do I not have that? Inherits elements of attacker's fighting style. Damn it. Shall I drag it here? Oh, okay. 5. Come on, shoot. Okay, it does work. So I can move away further.
Not dead yet.
Wow, the delay is so badly injured. How is she doing? Injured. I should not be. Oh god, I should go back. Yeah, damn it. Use my normal attack. I think this is the recovery. The blue circle is just the recovery. Our recovery should be faster, right? We are unarmed and we're supposed to have a lot more. We're supposed to be quicker.
Will do.
You're gonna attack first. Okay. Move away. Near death. Oh, this has a cooldown of 4 seconds. Okay, this is not a normal attack. I guess this we can put it here. Interesting. Unarmed combat. Wow, she got him before. That's one down. Let's check further along the path for more. Calm down. Alright, let's look at the just so confused. Oh wow, this is a map right now. Dialogue and combat log. Okay, lots of stuff. Toggle loot indicators, enemy indicators, exits, points of interest, and key characters. She's a key character. Aurora. Lots of convenience features. It's a bit overwhelming, but still it's good that it's there, you know. Go down. Okay. Oh, it makes it smaller. There are 6 categories of talents available to a character: leadership, defense, power, agility, ranged, and magic. With each level, you gain 1 point of. You gain 1 point to purchase a talent from any of these categories. Paid by the talent points: leadership, defense, power, agility, ranged, and magic. Within a talent tree, each tier of talents unlocks based on how many talent points have been spent within the tree. To learn a talent, select its icon and then save the button to confirm your choice. Each companion has their own talent trees with unique abilities. These abilities unlock in the same manner as your character's talents. As you spend points within a companion's talent tree, further tiers of talents become available. Alright, we have something we can do in a talent tree here. I don't know if you have leveled up. I don't know if there's an experience bar somewhere here. Experience for next level 30 out of 300. Alright. Okay, I think we'll save the game. And we'll stop the episode here. And next episode, I think we'll continue following Aurora. There are probably some Oathbreakers trying to escape and we're supposed to take them down. And afterwards, I think we'll reach the Archons and convey that we have come here with an edict. Right? Yeah. Let's see.